The old farmhouse on the outskirts of Pine Valley creaked in the afternoon wind, its wooden boards groaning like an old soldier waking from restless sleep. Inside sat Marcus Hale, retired Marine, veteran of the Jovian front, and widower for almost 5 years. His 2 teenage daughters, Leah and Mira, were the only reason he kept going. And today, they were late coming home from school. Marcus paced near the window, rubbing his prosthetic left hand. A metal replacement after the orbital bombardment on Callisto. The doctor said it was a miracle he survived. Marcus never called it that. He called it luck. Bad luck. A truck engine hummed outside. He froze. Were they being followed again? Pine Valley was peaceful, but ever since the alien delegation started visiting Earth, strange sightings weren't unusual. The door swung open before he could react. "Dad, don't freak out." Leah shouted, "We brought someone home." Mira added. Marcus opened his mouth to lecture them, then stopped and stared. Behind them stood a woman who was most definitely not human. She was tall, almost Amazonian, with burnished red scales shimmering like molten armor. A long tail curled behind her like a serpent of living ruby, and 2 elegant horns curved backward from her temples. Her eyes, golden, slit-pupiled, glowed softly with warmth and something shy. She raised a clawed hand and said, voice melodic yet rumbling, "Good evening, warrior Marcus Hale. I am Kilira of the Drakari. I apologize for intruding." Marcus blinked, then blinked again. His daughters exchanged glances. Mira whispered, "Dad's buffering." Leah nudged him. "Dad." Marcus managed a response. "What?" Kilira bowed deeply, so deeply her horns almost scraped the floor. "The hell?" Marcus finished. "The dragon woman story." They seated her at the kitchen table, where she folded her huge wings tight against her back to avoid knocking over cupboards. Marcus stood with arms crossed, watching her like she might breathe fire. She probably could. Leah poured her tea. Kilira sniffed it cautiously, then sipped. "Your daughters aided me today," she said softly. "I was being harassed." Marcus stiffened. "By who?" "Some boys," Leah said, rolling her eyes. "Xenophobic idiots." "They threw rocks," Mira added. Marcus felt his jaw clench. "They hit you?" Kilira lifted one arm. Her scales had faint scratches. "It is nothing. I did not fight back. It is forbidden for a Drakari warrior to harm juveniles of another species." Marcus grunted. Still, they had no right. Kilira's golden eyes softened. "Your daughters felt the same. They defended me, with remarkable courage." Leah cheered. "We threw their backpacks in the creek." Mira high-fived her. Marcus sighed. "We'll talk about that later." Then his gaze returned to Kilira. "Why were you even here? Your people rarely leave embassy." Kilira looked away, shoulders drooping. "I was chosen for the Earth Cultural Exchange Program." "Chosen?" Marcus asked. "It is complicated." Her claws traced the rim of her teacup. "Among my people, I am considered odd, too gentle, too diplomatic. My clutch mates call me soft-scaled." Mira whispered, "Bullies on every planet, apparently." Kilira continued, voice quieter. "So I was sent here, far from home, to learn confidence and prove my worth. And I am failing at both." Marcus felt something twist in his chest. She reminded him of soldiers, fresh recruits buried under expectations. The invitation. As evening settled, a storm rolled in, rain hammered the roof, thunder rumbling like distant artillery. Kilira walked toward the door. "I must return to the embassy." Marcus frowned. "In this weather?" "My hover bike broke during the earlier commotion. I can walk." "In a lightning storm?" Mira exclaimed. "Through the woods." Leah added. Marcus sighed deeply, the sigh of a man doomed by decency. "You can stay here tonight." Kilira's wings flared in surprise. I cannot impose upon your den." "It's a house, not a den," Marcus said. "And you're not walking 5 miles in this mess." End of discussion. She bowed again, too low. "Again, your honor humbles me, warrior Marcus Hale." "Stop calling me warrior," he muttered. "I'm retired." Kilira studied him gently. One does not stop being what they are. Nightfall and memories. Leah and Mira showed her the guest room. The bed was far too small, so Kilira curled up on the floor, coiling her tail around herself like a sleeping dragon from a fairy tale. Marcus lingered outside the door, listening to the soft rumble of her breathing. He hadn't had another adult in this house since his wife died. The idea of trusting someone, especially an alien, felt wrong. Yet something about Kilira didn't threaten him. Her presence felt steady. Safe. He limped back to the living room, rubbing his metal hand absently. Rain whispered against the windows. The old war wounds always hurt more in storms. Hours passed. Marcus dozed in his chair. Then, soft footsteps. Kilira stood in the doorway, wings folded, eyes dim with concern. "I sense distress," she said quietly. "Am I mistaken?" Marcus shook his head. "Just bad memories." She approached slowly, respectfully. "May I sit?" He nodded. She lowered herself beside him with surprising grace. Her warmth radiated like a living furnace. "What troubles you?" she asked. Marcus hesitated, but the words spilled out. "The war. Callisto. My wife's death. raising 2 teens by myself. He exhaled sharply. Some days I still feel like I never came home from the battlefield. Kilira's golden eyes softened. Among the Drakari, it is said, bodies may leave war, but war does not always leave bodies. Marcus stared at her. You've seen battle? Kilira looked away. I was trained for it, but I never truly belonged. Drakari warriors must be fierce, ruthless, dominating. I was not. So they sent you here. She nodded. To make me tougher. Marcus scoffed. Seems to me you're stronger than they think. Kilira blinked. You believe so? You didn't fight back against those kids. That takes restraint. Discipline. He took a sip of cold coffee. Strength isn't just about hitting things. Kilira stared at him, really stared, as if he'd spoken prophecy. No one has ever said that to me, she whispered. The attack. Thunder cracked like a gunshot. Then, a window shattered. Marcus leaped to his feet. Kilira's wings flared wide, protected by instinct. 3 masked men stormed in, wearing xenophobic militia colors. There she is, one shouted. Dragon freak. Kilira stepped forward to shield Marcus and his daughters. Marcus grabbed a baseball bat. Get out. A man raised a stun rifle at Kilira. Marcus lunged, but Kilira moved first. In a fluid, powerful motion, she swept her tail, knocking 2 men off their feet. The third fired, but her scale-armored forearm took the shot like a shield. She roared, loud enough to shake the house, and the militia fled into the rain. Marcus stared. She hadn't harmed them beyond incapacitation. She could have torn them apart, but she didn't. Kilira turned, breathing hard, golden eyes shining with adrenaline. Is everyone safe? Leah and Mira rushed out from behind the couch. You saved us. Kilira bowed her head. I only acted as any warrior should. Marcus stepped forward. You protected my family. Kilira froze. No one has ever called me a true warrior, she whispered. You are one, Marcus said. The morning after. By dawn, the storm had passed. So had the fear. As the golden sunrise bathed the farmhouse, Kilira stood at the porch railing, wings half open, letting the warmth wash over her scales. Marcus approached with 2 mugs, 1 coffee, 1 steaming mineral broth for her species. She accepted with both hands, reverent. You could leave now, Marcus said quietly. Back to the embassy. I could, she agreed. But... Kilira exhaled a warm cloud of vapor. But I find myself unwilling. Marcus raised a brow. Why? She turned toward him slowly, and the sunrise caught her scales just right, making her look like a living flame. Because in one night, she said softly, I have felt more acceptance in this home than in my entire life. He looked away, throat tight. My daughters adore you already. And you? She asked gently. Marcus met her gaze. I don't know what this is, he admitted, but I don't want it to end. Kilira stepped closer, lowering her head so her eyes met his. Neither do I. Her tail brushed lightly against his leg. Not a mistake, but gesture of trust and affection among her people. Marcus didn't move away. A new beginning. Over the next weeks, Kilira became part of their life. She helped around the farm, effortlessly lifting hay bales like pillows. She cooked strange or carried dishes that Marcus pretended not to enjoy, but secretly loved. She walked the girls to school, ensuring no one bothered them. Neighbors stared. Sure. Some whispered. But the Hale family didn't care, especially Marcus. One quiet evening, as he watched Kilira show Leah and Mira how to braid ceremonial Drakari ribbons through her hair, Marcus realized something. The house didn't feel empty anymore. A warmth lived here again. A presence. A future. Kilira looked back at him, golden eyes radiant. And Marcus knew. His daughters had not brought home danger. They had brought home hope. A chance to live again. Maybe even love again. He wasn't lonely anymore. Because a beautiful dragon woman had walked into his home.